Hey everyone, Mr. Dempsey here. This is a guide for round 2 of the manufacturer series. Let's get this started. Start to brake before you pass the 100 meter mark or before the curb on the left starts. What you want to do is to go nice and wide through this first half of the turn. Try to go for a light apex and slowly start to accelerate. You will need to let the car to cruise at some point so you can make sure that the car actually makes the turn. For this next turn, look for the second Pirelli sign on the right, as that will serve as your braking point. Use a quick short burst of braking, then accelerate. Look for the official stand shadow on the right, as that will be your next braking point. Use some braking to make sure that the car doesn't start sliding around. Ignore this first apex right here, but you will go for a late apex on this turn right here. Try not to get too much on the red area, as that can make your car a bit slidey. Then start to brake when your car is under the Dragon Trail sign above you, and you'll be using a quick burst of braking. Get your car to the right side of the track. Do some throttle control as you make your way through this left-hander. Take this right-hander at full throttle if possible. Then look for the 100 meter sign, as you'll start to brake before you pass it. Try to get the car to rotate as quickly as possible, and this turn opens up a little bit so you can accelerate a little bit sooner compared to other hairpins. Now this is where it gets tricky. Use the 100 meter sign as your braking point. Brake as much as you can, then slowly ease off on the brakes as you make your way to the apex. Accelerate for a short moment here, then use a bit of braking to go through this next turn. Accelerate a bit more, then ease off on the throttle. Do not take too much of this curb, as this will make your car a bit unstable, as you see in the video here. Then for the final turn, all you need to do is just ease off on the throttle, start to accelerate before the curb on the right ends, and you are good to go. Now before I go on to the strategies, someone will probably ask, why don't you go over the sausage curbs at the chicane near the end of the lap? And the reason why is because while you can shave off a bit of time by going directly over the sausage curbs, you have to be a bit precise about it, because if you take it the wrong way, the car risks getting really unstable and you can potentially lose control, spin out, and you're not going to have a very good day after that. So because of that, I just go around the curves. But anyways, now let's go ahead and talk about the strategies. For this race, the strategies are pretty straightforward, nothing special to it. You either do a racing medium stint, so you start on racing medium tires, change on over to a new set of racing medium tires halfway through the race, or you can start and end with racing hard tires only and go for a no stop. So here's the thing, when it comes to the pit stop in this race, it doesn't take that long, so you're basically in and out very quick. The actual pit stop time, so the time it takes for your pit crew to do what you want them to do, is just under 5 seconds, and your total pit time is 13 seconds. So you're not wasting too much time here, and because of that, it's going to make the racing hard tire strategy not that good of a strategy. So as you see here, we're already in the pit stop. Quickly change the tires, bring the car down, and off we go, and we are at the end of the main straight. And also the other thing is that with racing medium tires, you obviously have more grip, which lets you take turns at a faster rate of speed, so you can end up getting better times. And you'll especially notice this once you start your second stint, because with the first stint you have a bit more weight on your car due to the fuel that you started with, and when you're halfway through the race you'll have less fuel. You'll be about halfway through the tank, at least in my experience, so there's not as much weight as you had when you started the race, and you'll be able to get slightly better times. Whereas with the racing hard tires, your times are slow at the start, then they improve halfway through the race, and then they go back to being not that good at the end of the race due to the tire wear. But either way, if you do the racing hard tire strategy, you're going to end up being slower overall compared to those on the racing medium tire strategy. So if anything, definitely check out the racing medium tire strategy, as this looks like it's the best strategy after all. And once again, you want to pit when you're halfway into the race, and since this race has an odd number of laps, you can pit at the end of lap 6 or at the end of lap 7. It all depends on how worn your tires are. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this guide. This one was pretty straightforward. And before I forget, don't worry about fuel. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.